JDM is one of my favorite fighters to watch right now, and it has nothing to do with finishes. If anything, I've never really cared that much about finishes. I'd much rather watch a decision merchant who's good defensively and has a dynamic striking arsenal. And what better name than Jack Della Maddalena? I think he's easily top 3 most dynamic strikers in the welterweight division right now, and that says a lot because we have a lot of killers there. Carlos Prates, Ian Gary, Michael Page, Michael Morales, the list goes on. So to have that title is very prestigious. Despite all his masterclass performances, I can't help but notice how he seems to narrowly win fights. He has 2 split decisions in his career against Basel Hafez and Kevin Holland, and going back to his Gilbert Burns fight, he was losing officially going into the third. He needed either a dominant round or finish to make it a draw, because we all know it's almost impossible to get a 10-7. Mind you, this is an older Gilbert Burns we're talking about. I personally had it 1-1 going into the third. I gave the first round to Gilbert, the second to JDM. So JDM probably would have lost if it weren't for the finish. But we can't just look at the fight alone. We have to understand that there's all this context. Apparently JDM broke his arm in the first round after absorbing a roundhouse from Gilbert. Now, of course, it took skill to land that kick, but we have to acknowledge that it was a little fluky. This isn't Paulo Costa we're talking about. If Paulo Costa lands on you, there's a high chance that at some point you're going to break something, especially if it's accumulative. Against Roman Kopylov, he was landing his roundhouse to the body on multiple occasions. I'm actually convinced he broke Roman's ribs, and that explains Roman's inactivity throughout the fight. Now, when it comes to Gilbert Burns, I just can't give him that credit, man. Moving on to JDM's fight against Basel Hafez. I'm sure you guys remember in round 1, Basel shot for a takedown, secured the body lock, and lifted JDM like he was a baby and freaking dropped him on the ground. And throughout the entire fight, he was chain wrestling JDM. But JDM was outclassing him on the feet, man. He was landing his classic combos, and perhaps that's why Basel was so adamant on grappling. But he didn't do that much damage. He was more focused on control time. So I would have to give the fight to JDM. It was a close fight, but if we're judging it based on damage, JDM takes the dub. Lastly, we have JDM's fight against Kevin Holland. The first time I watched it, I'll be completely honest with you, I didn't know who won it. But going back, you'll notice that Kevin Holland was not landing on JDM. He could not penetrate JDM's guard. Like, JDM's defense might be stationary at times, but one thing you can't take away from him is his high guard is some of the best in the game, him along with Peter Yan, and Kevin Holland had no answer for it, whereas JDM would throw a lot less strikes but land a lot more frequently and the more damaging strikes, so that makes JDM the rightful winner. Luckily, the UFC has competent judges. I know I have a lot of negative things to say regarding some of the atrocious cards like Gone versus Volkov. That is the most obvious robbery in UFC history. That is up there for sure. So when it comes to JDM versus Kevin Holland, that fight was even a lot less close. JDM clearly won probably all of the rounds, but yes, JDM has won some close fights officially, and I wonder if this will affect him in the future when he's facing unfavorable stylistic matchups. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.